Right now, I'm going to introduce you to the basics of writing an introductory paragraph using your notes and, as you can see on the left here, your outline. All right. So it's not argumentative, it's informational, but you should have your outline side by side with the paper you're going to work on. So I've already written an introductory paragraph here, and we're going to go through how I did that using my outline. And of course, you should have your notes handy to refer to in case you want to add more information. All right. So we're going to start off here. Typically, you're going to start off with a hook. Maybe your background information. Sometimes you can combine the two because the background information might be shocking or interesting. In my case, I started off with a bit of background information, just kind of giving the reader a heads up as to what this paper is going to be about. I wrote homelessness is an issue that hits at the heart of every community in the United States. So instantly, boom, you know this paper is about homelessness and some aspect of homelessness. All right, next. At this moment, just under 16,000 homeless people live in Oregon. That's kind of my hook right there. I have more information here. Goes on down, but it's kind of my hook. So I've used a statistic, kind of a shocking statistic, to show the reader one of the big problems and kind of lure them into wanting to read more. Getting your reader to think about this many people living on the street can do the trick. You'll also notice on the left side here, the statistic is exact. I didn't use that because I wanted to exaggerate, to be honest, make it a little bit more shocking. You say 15,876. That's a very specific number, but you round up to 16,000. It is more, and it might be more now. As you can see here, I've also included my source where I got the information, which is important and you're going to need to do. And I went on to kind of add to my hook with 2019 was the third year in a row in which the homeless population increased by at least 3%. And due to COVID-19, that number has likely increased. So throwing out some shocking information, notice I dropped COVID-19 in there. That's a very relevant current issue that's going on. In your guys' papers, like if you're talking about underrepresented communities like African Americans, you might bring up Black Lives Matter because it is a current relevant issue. All right. Now moving on to the next part here. So I have a little bit of background, right? What's going on? There's a population of homeless people that has increased. I have a statistic here as a hook. Now I'm going to give kind of an overview, the next section of what the paper in general is going to be about. In that overview, I basically take just parts of the main points of each body paragraph I'm going to write about. You might not do this in your paper, particularly if you're on the Excel program and you have like 10 body paragraphs. You might not mention every one, and that's fine. You can mention a few, and that's fine. In this case, I only have 3, so I might as well mention them, which I do right here. It's also kind of part of my thesis statement. So I kind of start blending the various things together. I have the overview and thesis statement starting to blend together. I'll read it here. It says, something needs to be done, but current laws only make the problem worse by hurting long-term prospects for housing and safety. Ooh, that's the first paragraph. Finding support for work and mental health. Oh, second body paragraph. And creating homeless camps full of violence and crimes. Third paragraph. Okay, and I go on to state my thesis even more clearly here. Officials need to stop criminalizing homeless people so we can find a long-term solution. All right. So right there, you have the basics of your introductory paragraph. Remember to refer to your main points when you do your overview. Have a hook of some sort. Remember, a hook can be a call to action. It can be a statistic like this. Something that kind of maybe scares your reader is not a bad idea. All right. So when you start your introductory paragraph right now, have your outline next to it ready to go, along with your notes. And go.